Welcome to the Nourish and Restore podcast with Nina and me, Nicole, where we bring all things nourishing and restorative to you, your body, mind, and soul. A chance for you to enjoy simple tools to help you live a happier, healthier, and more peaceful life. Join our conversation as we explore our interesting theme for today.
Goedemorgen, goedemorgen. Good morning.
Guten Morgen, guten Morgen.
Good morning, good morning. What other language do we know?
Bon
That's about
dia.
it, right?
Bon dia.
What? Bon dia. What language is that?
We were speaking Portuguese this morning.
Ah, okay. Bon dia. Bon dia. Yes, of course, because in Mozambique we speak Portuguese. You. I'm weeing.
I attempt my 3 words that I know after living here for nearly 3.5 years. Yeah, it's very embarrassing. Time to improve. Anyway, so welcome.
Bucket list. Welcome. Hello, everybody. So nice to be here with you again, Nina. So nice to see you. We missed each other in Cape Town.
We did, but it is good to connect this way.
Absolutely, and often much easier.
Yeah.
Often much easier to connect online. Yes.
It is.
So,
how are things going?
Good, fantastic. We have a bit of a overcast weather today in Cape Town. I'm still here. Actually, when you hear the podcast, I won't be still here, but for now, I'm still here. And yeah, it's actually really nice to have a rainy day, first rainy day since I've been here, which has been 5 weeks already.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it.
Good.
And you? How's Mozambique?
Speaking about rain, we have had quite a lot of downpours this rainy season. So we've had rains, and
wow,
I think we have multiple leaks in our roof. So
Wait.
multiple leaks in our house, buckets around catching water, multiple patches of mold growing. That is driving me insane. So at the moment, I am somewhat balanced and grounded, but it could be better. I'm looking forward to dry season again when the rains
Yes,
are.
I can imagine. I can imagine, yeah. And with so much water flowing, has there been an influx of emotions flowing too?
Ooh la la. That's why this brings us straight to today's topic, all on kind of like the month of February love and all of that. Let's like get straight into those emotions, how we can navigate them. Help me sort myself out, Nicole. What can I do?
I'm being very cheesy this for February, for the February month of love. I have chosen to go with the topic of self-love, which I think is really so important, you know, coming out of a generation where self-love is selfish and you can't think about yourself, you know, you've got to think about everybody else first, to, you know, a generation that is really honoring and I would actually even say thriving on the self-love, you know, because when we learn to be there for ourselves and our bucket is full, then we have so much more to give to everybody else. So yeah, so it's a topic I find that can really push some buttons. And on all levels, you know, all the buttons of other people that are all of a sudden now seeing, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not getting what I need from this person anymore because they are now investing more into themselves. And that can be partners and children, friends, family. What?
Parents, pets.
Parents, yes, pets even. Although, you know, pets, I always say pets are just such a blessing because they don't talk back.
Yeah,
you know,
just lie there and they have to be part of the conversation.
Earlier on, I was just seeing his tail going. Cute little Carter. But yes, so it definitely can push some buttons. It can push our own buttons of really being able to stand our ground within ourselves and implement those boundaries, those healthy boundaries. So yeah, I think there's going to be quite a bit to share, talk about. We'll do a fun little exercise, journaling exercise, and we'll end off the month of love, self-love, with a nice yoga and yoga nidra session.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So, Nicole, how did it come about that kind of like this topic of self-love became or is important to you? Like, how did that evolve? Because if you're like me, it probably really wasn't there, maybe growing up, or, it's something we, I think, had to learn to practice and do. So how did that evolve for you with time? Why did
Well,
that?
it's actually quite interesting. I kind of feel the reason why I've chosen this topic as well is to explain just that, because my company is called Love Me. And interesting enough, I work in a crystal shop in Austria, and I have my business cards out there. So it says Love Me, and underneath Nicole Angelica Panzer. It's actually thinking I don't even have one to show you, but I'll put one up. And my boss said to me, it's just a little bit of feedback, of what people have said. So the women absolutely love it because it's that beautiful kind of like salmony pink color, and Love Me and my name underneath. And to them it's all about self-love, and it looks cozy, and but if you ask the men, they think that I'm offering some sort of a service. So I was like, typical guys. And if there are any guys listening, the word love me is definitely not what I do. I've had some very interesting calls of people wanting services. So that has been very entertaining. But no, that is definitely not what I do. But on the other hand, love is not only about sex. Love is not only about intercourse. Love is not only about like physical action. Love is so much more and so much deeper. And firstly, it starts with ourselves. It's learning to love ourselves, learning to hold ourselves in compassion and love and all of that. So backtracking to when I was a teenager, and obviously going through turbulent times as we do. Growing up in Cape Town, I used to, after school at Camps Bay High School, I used to walk down to Glen Beach and sit on the rocks. And I used to write poems that didn't rhyme. But I poured my heart out on paper, and I would always sign it, Love Me. And many years later, when I was sitting with a marketing dude, he was kind of like saying to me, so, renaming the company because it was Lila Health and Wellbeing. And I kind of felt that wasn't really fitting with what I was doing anymore. So we kind of brainstormed, and then I actually fell back to that memory, or brought myself back to that memory. And I was like, you know what, it's really important is learning to love yourself. And it was interesting that I was signing it Love Me. So lots of love from me, shortened to Love Me. And that kind of really is what I'm so strongly feeling, So firstly, coming on board with me and allowing me to assist you on your journey until you feel stable enough to do it on your own. I'm doing this with all my heart, so from all my love. And on the other side, you are learning how to love yourself. So love me for you, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of where my journey started. And really the journey about healing and change and working on ourselves. I mean, the first thing is, why are you doing it? You're doing it because you love yourself enough to step up for yourself, not for
Yeah.
anyone else, because that's the only time when the change will happen. Like that beautiful saying, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. If the horse loves itself enough, it will nourish itself with the delicious water that you've brought it to. So when we are able to surrender into that self-love, are we able to accept our faults? Are we able to accept our shadow side, befriend our shadow side? So the whole nother world opens up to us. Yeah.
I think that is such a vital point, because when we start accepting ourselves on all levels, like you're saying, the shadow sides, the good sides, when we're learning because we're always learning. I can't say we've ever learned it. But when we start working that, we're able to accept others and their faults and their shadow issues with a little bit more ease as well. And I think also kind of like when we're in a partnership, then we're not looking to the other person, like a love relationship, to give us the love. If we're
absolutely
self-love ourselves and we keep going out, looking, from the dog, to a partner, to our parents, to our kids, to fulfill us with love, but we actually not filling our own bucket first, we're constantly outsourcing a really, really strong innate inner wisdom that we all have. And I think that's why it's so important. I think we all know this, but I think it's so important to be reminded of it. And also, like you're going to be sharing, just have practical tips and applications that you can actually do to fill yourself up again, and feel
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure most of you have also heard the saying that, happiness is self-made. You cannot rely on another to make you happy. I mean, yes, when we are sad and somebody comes over and we have a good laugh, it changes our mood. Absolutely. But when we learn to really create our own happiness, our own inner sense of love, when we are able to feed and give that to ourselves, then we don't have to depend on anybody else on the outside. Which puts a lot of pressure on people, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So, before I give away all my tips and tricks and tools,
we'll catch you next week or
listen in to our February podcast. Yes.
Fantastic. All right, my friend. Oh, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you too.
Catching you this month.
Yes, absolutely. Sending love to you all. I can't wait for the feedback. And maybe we'll even throw in a live session or so. Just keep a lookout on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Sending love to everybody. Bye for now. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Nourish and Restore podcasts today. To find out more about Nourish and Restore, visit our website or Facebook page, nourishandrestore.yoga. For more information on working with Nina Sachs, visit www.yogaaa.co.za. And to work with me, Nicole Angelica Panther, visit www.lov-me.com. Links will be in the show notes. We look forward to catching up with you next week. Namaste and have a nourishing day.